Hello all. In this video, we are going to learn about Python basics. So here we are going to see about the history of Python, installation process, running process in Python, names and assignments, the sequence types, tuples, list, strings, and mutability. So the history of Python, it was invented in Netherlands and in early 90s by Guido van Rossum, and he was the programming language was named after a series called Monty Python. This is totally open source from the beginning. So this is considered as a scripting language. Uh, so it is totally scalable. It is object-oriented programming language. It is used by Google in the beginning, and nowadays it is totally popular. So Python is an experiment in how much freedom programmers need. This Python programming is usually used to develop apps, to develop softwares in game development. It is used nowadays. So Python version 2.61, Python 3 is being used nowadays. So this is a installation process of Python 2.6. It was released in the year 2009. So Python is easy to learn actually, easy for the beginners. It is a powerful programming language. It is efficient, high-level data structures, and it is simple but efficient approach. And it is used. It is nothing but the object-oriented programming language. It has quite simple syntax. It is dynamic, easy to understandable. It is an idle programming language. Python interpreter is there. PyCharm is a good Python interpreter. Usually Python programs will be in .py. The data types, it is almost similar to C and C++. If we know languages like C, C++, then it is quite easy to learn Python language as well. So it is easily extended, and if we know the basics like data types, list, tuples, functions, strings, then it is quite easy to learn Python language. So here, so Python interpreter, typically Python implementations offer both interpreter as well as a compiler. So Python has both interpreter as well as compiler. So this is a version 2.4.3. Whenever if we want to know the version of the Python, Python version we can type. So Python is pre-installed on most Unix systems. We can make use of Python language in Windows system as well as in Linux system. So the pre-installed versions are like 2.6.2, 3.1.1 as of September 9. If we want, we can download Python in this URL. So IDLE is nothing but uh, we have several options in Python language. So one of them is nothing but IDLE. So IDLE is integrated development environment for Python. So Python, we used to work in a terminal. We used to work in a cell. So Python mode has good support for editing Python enabled. As I told already, Python files will be in .py forms. So we have the terminal symbol like this. 3 plus 3, if we type in Python terminal, then we will be automatically getting the value as 6. So if we want to call the Python programming language through Python interpreter, we can type python fact.py. Okay, if we want to find the location or path, then we can type /user /bin /python. If we want to change the mode of Python, making the file executable, if I want to change the file as executable, then I can use the command line as a chmod a+x fact.py. Invoking file from Unix command line. If I want to invoke another file, then I can use fact.py in Python. So the next example, if I want to define a function, define def, I can use def fact of x. If using if condition, if I want to check whether the value of x, the variable x is equal to 0, I want to return 1. And after returning 1, I have to multiply the x value with a factorial of x minus 1. So this is a program for determining the factorial of a number using if condition. Okay. So actually, for determining the factorial of a number, I have to determine 1 factorial is nothing but 1 into 1. 2 factorial is nothing but 2 into 2 into 1. So for which I have to multiply the number 2 uh, multiplied with the number minus 1. So that is what I write it here. Using for for loop and using if condition. So Python always follows indentation. That is what we have mentioned here. We can learn more about Python in the forthcoming videos. See you in the next video. Until then, it's bye bye from Radhika.